Hello, and thank you for joining us as we continue part two of sharpening your communication skills. Can you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? So, in our first part of this habit is habit number 3. For those of you who have been watching and listening to this series that's connected to our career and individual support services that we provide here at ABC Educational Services. This is Habit 3, and this is our second part. In the first part, we initially talked about considering another approach as we communicate with others, whether it be professionally or personally, and that's seeking first to understand, then to be understood. So, the first part, we shared a little bit of information about seeking to understand. If you missed it, please feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's ABC Educational Services, Andrea C. Scott, and it'll take you through all the information that you missed if you were not able to join us before. So now today I wanted to talk a little bit about seeking to be understood, what that looks like. When we're seeking to be understood, one of the important things is that we have to make sure that what we are wanting to convey matches our body language. A lot of times we have something that we want to share that's on our mind, but our body is not connecting with the words that are coming out of our mouth. So as we're seeking to be understood, we may not be understood because of the body language that we are showing. So it's important that when you are communicating, that we have to be mindful and intentional about what we know our body is saying. And that takes time and that takes practice. We have time, we have practice, and we're going to just keep working and working and working until our body language matches the words that come out of our mouth. So when we're seeking to be understood, what we want to convey will actually be conveyed. So the next thing I wanted to talk about when we're seeking to be understood is that we're making sure that the communication that we're having with someone else is in the form of rephrasing and reflecting what an individual has shared with us. When we are able to do that, that lets someone else know that we cared enough to be empathetic. We cared enough to listen and not take judgment. We cared enough to seek to understand their point of view. So then when we respond, it will be in a healthy manner that will gauge healthy conversation, which brings about healthy solutions and success for everyone in your personal life as you're going towards your plan, and even any of the personal goals that you may have. So it's important to remember that that's where you're wanting to get. Now, it's okay to have, clarifying questions that we ask. When we restate information that someone else gives to us, yes, that lets them know that we heard them, that we are listening. That's those fundamental principles that we use for communication. But as you get comfortable and say, I want to dig a little deeper, let's strive towards working on having deeper levels of communication. Telling you the rewards are just limitless. And the things that we can do together when we choose to look deeper in our communication. And one of the things in saying that, as we're seeking to be understood, one of the things that we want to avoid those probing questions, feeling like we're evaluating someone else or interpreting someone else's words that they've said to us. Like, for example, if they share something and then you transfer it over and saying, oh, well, yeah, I remember, I used to do that when I was young. When you transfer how they were feeling and interpret it as your own experience. So we want to make sure that when we are communicating, we're seeking to be understood. When we respond, we want to make sure that we're letting that other individual know that we value their experience, that we value their words and their feelings, and that we're not going to take it upon ourselves and give them counsel that did not connect to what they shared. That is not being reflective, and that is not showing empathy. So we're going to continue, and that's for me too. Just continue to be mindful not to take that on, because it's so easy to do. And we also want to make sure that when we are having communication with someone else, that they know that we care, that they know that we're authentic about the conversation, about the communication. It comes more effective when we realize that our words and our approach to communication, that it shapes every relationship that we have, our personal, our professional. When we become more mindful and intentional about our communication, telling you nothing, sky's the limits, and we come off better, and we've actually given someone else an opportunity to feel better about who they are through their communication with us. So we're leaving them feeling whole, feeling complete, feeling resolute in the communication with us. So I wanted to leave you with something that when I was reading, I'm just reading a lot of, I am a reader, enjoy reading. And I was reading, just going back, reading something that I read in one of Stephen Covey's books. And I wanted to just share this with you because I thought it was so powerful. So he said, seek first to understand. Before problems come up, before you try to evaluate and prescribe, before you try to present your own ideas, seek to understand. It's a powerful habit of effective interdependence. When we really deeply understand each other, we open the door to creative solutions and third alternatives. Our differences are no longer stumbling blocks to communication and progress. Instead, they become the stepping stones to synergy, and we want to be synergistic in our communication. So let's continue to seek to understand. I hope this was helpful and beneficial to you as you continue to sharpen your communication skills here in 2020. There's nothing you can't do. You are valuable. And listen, what you've planned for 2020, it's going to happen. It's going to come to pass. You are going to accomplish everything you succeeded to do in 2020 and much more. You're going to come out better communicator, you're going to have healthy habits, refining, taking off. I use this analogy, taking the fat off of those things that we just want to burn off and eliminate, that no longer are important for us, that have been weighing us down. We want to be weightless in our minds and our thoughts and our actions so we can choose what's in our best interest here in 2020. You matter. You are important. The world is anxiously awaiting for that dream, that goal, that plan that you have to come to pass in 2020. Please feel free to reach out and contact us anytime. 720-427-8901. You can also email us at abceducationservices@gmail.com, or you may inbox me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, or in Instagram. Take care, and I look forward to seeing and speaking with you soon.